Well, this is oh my, this is brand new. I ain't never done a live reaction before to this whole endeavor, but the world of boxing just got shooken up yet again because breaking news, if you did not know, Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk is officially done. It's off, or rather postponed, for the foreseeable future, maybe until late next year, because Tyson Fury has been cut in training camp. His opponent, if you did not know, there's a video circulating all around the internet, Twitter, excuse me, and other platforms, with Tyson Fury getting elbowed in the face blatantly by his sparring partner en route to the biggest fight of his career, up against Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight title. Mind you, eerily similar to how he elbowed Francis Ngannou. Well, I guess it came right back around to him, caught him right on the eye, or right in the eyebrow. Same situation, or rather same spot where Otto Wallin cut him. And now we are all breathing a sigh of outright anguish. Because, ladies and gentlemen,
hey, look at this. We got some problems here.
Yes, we do.
We got some problems here.
Oh, you better believe it. We got problems. This is the fight that I've been waiting on, and the boxing world has been waiting on for who knows how long. Nearly 25 years, a minimum 23 plus years. We've been waiting for an undisputed champion, and we were right there. After the terrible negotiation tactics by Tyson Fury, who, yes, he is the reason why they broke down the first time they went about. Then coming to find out, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, Turkish Al Sheikh, all of a sudden came in, saved the day, got the fight happening, gave out the money. This brother's just throwing his weight around. Now we get the fight. We were mere weeks away. The month was right there. The Black History Month had came around, and we were about to get one of the best gifts: two white men fighting each other. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing. It's jokes. We don't do the racial thing over here. Just all been fun, all in good fun. But in all seriousness, it would have been phenomenal fight to see. One of the biggest fights of the year. Now it's just kaput, at least for the time being. When the fight will happen, who knows? But said reportedly it's going to take a long time for Tyson Fury to recover from this. Per his camp telling I guess Usyk's camp, or telling the media exactly how severe that gash on the eye is for Tyson Fury. Now we're just, every time we get a sliver of hope in something great happening, something has to come about and just absolutely blow everything up and mess everything, just get everything out of the way. Just disrupt everything in terms of the forward momentum that boxing has to offer. Now that we're in this situation, this brings up a question: where exactly do we go from here? What's the next step for the championship belts that were on the line? Well, now that it's come into play that Fury's injured, talks are being surfacing, that we got Filip Hrgović now going to get his mandatory fight against Usyk for the IBF title. Mind you, the IBF, same belt that stripped, or the same commission that stripped Terrence Crawford of his championship after he beat Errol Spence Jr. And they were threatening the IBF to strip whoever won the fight between Fury and Usyk, stripped them of their title immediately after if they did not go and fight Filip Hrgović, which is the mandatory, like I just said, for the IBF title. They would have stripped either one of them if they had become champion, if they went ahead with their planned rematch after their first undisputed fight. So now this could bring a glimmer of hope in the ire and in the chaos that we're now experiencing as boxing fans. Because if, in fact, we do see Usyk in training and instead just switch gears and fights Hrgović outright, now we can see a situation where if Usyk beats Hrgović, or, hey, if Hrgović does a complete 180 and upsets the world and beats Usyk, which I don't think is going to happen, but hey, boxing's boxing. If in fact that did happen, we would see a situation where, okay, we can have a reigning champion. Potentially, we could have a champion that gets to keep all of their belts and continue to be champion and fight everybody without the threat of being stripped and dethroned from their undisputed title. Though they shouldn't be, because they didn't lose it in the ring. They lost it by essentially commissions being greedy and stupid and ignorant. And I hate it. But it is what it is. But again, now that we got Hrgovic and Usyk now being talked about, and with Hrgovic being the IBF mandatory, which is a belt that Usyk has. If Usyk gets him out the way, or if Hrgovic wins, whoever wins, most likely Usyk, but whoever wins that fight, they will then not have the threat of mandatory held over their head in theory. Again, we've seen belt commissions go awry and have favoritism for one and not for the other. Like I said with Terrence Crawford, they stripped him of having his belt in terms of the IBF when he was champion. However, Errol Spence Jr., who I believe was the champion before that, he got to keep the titles when he had the IBF belt and didn't defend the IBF belt solely alone, or didn't defend it against the IBF mandatory in about the whole of his tenure as champion before he got dethroned by Terrence Crawford. So again, the favoritism for some but not for others. Some for thee but not for me. And if that makes sense, you get what I'm saying? This is a situation where the favoritism and the hypocrisy of this all can potentially be quelled if this fight does in fact happen. Because then none of the other belt commissions are holding their mandatories up to strict standards. Again, like you got Big Bang Zhang, who should be a man. I believe he is a mandatory for one of the belts, but right now hasn't gotten his shot. But that belt commission isn't pushing for it. So potentially we could see a situation where after this belt gets dealt with, whoever wins between Hrgovic and Usyk, if in fact it is Hrgovic or Usyk winning, then boom, we could just have a champion that just reigns and just beats the common sense number one guy fight by fight by fight by fight without having to worry about mandatories. Because now, okay, I'm just reigning. I'm just ruling. And if you earn the shot, you get to get the belt. Again, after Hrgovic, okay, boom, Zhang. If Zhang doesn't get it done, next person up. You get what I'm saying? That's what it should be. And hopefully, that's what we will see if, in fact, this mandatory does happen. But either way, while it is a silver lining, it is still an absolute travesty that we got to wait potentially months, let alone potentially a year. I don't know how severe or how long they're going to wait to say they're ready to fight and get back in the ring. But we got to see the pictures of Tyson Fury. Looked like he was in phenomenal shape. Looked like he was primed and ready. Looked like that he was set. And some of the we saw abs on this brother. We never see abs on Tyson Fury. And again, that's not a knock on him. I'm just saying, in terms of a fitness type physique and a body built for boxing, we don't apply that to Tyson Fury, though he is athletic and fit. But now this is the fittest that we ever saw Tyson Fury. Legitimately slim, visible abs, strength, pecs, everything was actually divided. Oh, this is a far cry from what we saw against Francis Ngannou. This is a far cry from what we saw against Francis Ngannou or Dillian White or Derek Chisora or any of his other past fights of recent. And this brings up a very good question. Last question that we're going to ask about this whole ordeal. Is this postponement good or bad for these two? If, in fact, again, Usyk fights Hrgovic and Hrgovic doesn't get it done and Usyk stays and that fight's still going on for the undisputed title between Fury and Usyk, who does this newfound postponement favor? And it could actually favor Usyk more than Fury. Now again, it's understandable why you would ask, why the world would you say that? You got Fury, again, looking like the best shape he's ever been in his career. Well, that's true, but understand this. Time has been working against Tyson Fury for a very long time. It has. He's been able to adapt and overcome, changing his style from being a dancing, bobbing and weaving type fighter to a more flat-footed, aggressive, coming forward type, again, killer. Looking to get the knockout. That's what his persona has been. Looking to do damage rather than just outbox you. Hasn't worked in every situation. Again, like against Francis Ngannou, but still, changed his game plan to fit where he's at in life right now. And it has worked. Now, however, even with more time to train, even with him being in the best shape, it's better if the fight happens in the immediate rather than happening later on, because it only favors Usyk being more prepared. Again, naturally being more active, because if this fight doesn't happen with Fury, I'm very positive, most likely positive, that he's going to fight against Hrgovic and keep active in the ring and not just take sparring as a means to keep in shape and keep his skills, but put himself in legitimate danger. Though he's at risk of losing his titles, it's still, he should be able to outclass Hrgovic and keeping that in-ring ability from rusting off as much as possible is your prime opportunity to get the ultimate goal that you want. Though you have already earned that right to have the ultimate goal. Knowing Usyk, while he does want undisputed, while he does want to be seen as the guy in the division and no other questions should be asked about him, that's what he wants in his mind. Still, he's a fighter at heart, and he wants to fight. Plain and simple. So we could see him fight Hrgovic, keep his tactics, abilities, body all well oiled and primed so that he can fight when that fight happens with Fury. Fight him at the fullest capacity without having to worry about I'm getting back in rhythm. That makes sense. So this could in fact favor Usyk more than Fury because time is quickly winding up on Fury. Even now, with him getting back in shape after the abysmal performance that he put up against Francis Ngannou, which I feel that he lost, this is the situation where we are looking at, even with Fury being so healthy, being in such great shape as we see him in right now, still, because this later postponement is going to mitigate him, not just in recovery, but also keeping him out of the ring as well. He's not going to risk his shot with his titles. So he's not going to fight until he's fully healthy. This, again, as much as it's a risk for Usyk to lose his belts, with Usyk being active if he does take the fight with Hrgovic, he will be able to keep on training, keep healthy, keep in-ring rust from getting on him. And when he's able to actually get in the ring with Fury, we could see that was the difference. Activity and time. And the time away that Fury has been taking from the ring consistently with his career. And this, again, unwanted postponement that has, again, further kept him out the ring. And with his age and style having to adapt because his body has changed. And he can't dance. He can't hop. He can't move like he used to, as we now know, officially. This is a situation where we're looking at Fury and saying, the more you wait and the longer this draws out, the worse this could be for Fury. And the more it could favor Usyk once the actual undisputed title fight gets into play and comes to fruition. Because on that night of the fight, we could see that time has fully caught up to Tyson Fury. And when he wants to dance, he won't be able to. And if he only is able to rely on the style of leaning and overwhelming Usyk with his size, like he tried to do against Francis Ngannou, and he finds out that it's not working, and he's forced to try to box with his boxing ability waning, yeah, this could spell some major trouble for Tyson Fury. Major trouble for Tyson Fury. But it's all around is bad. All around is bad, because we were right there, on the cusp of having an undisputed champion, right in our grasp. And now we got to wait a little bit longer. Good gosh, I hope nothing happens. I really do hope nothing happens. Also, shout out, or rather rest in peace, to Carl Weathers on this again. Just bad news all around, with him sadly passing away shortly after the news broke of the fight being postponed. Oh boy, brother was in the Rocky films, was one of the key cornerstones, the antagonist turned into an ally for Rocky and Sylvester Stallone. Also was in Predator, also was in Happy Gilmore, had some phenomenal acting chops to him. The brother was something special to see on screen. I always enjoyed him every time I watched. He stole the show whenever he was there, and I popped for him. I was like, oh shoot, it's him, especially if it was something I didn't know. Especially, I believe it was in The Mandalorian. Of recently, I could be wrong, but of recently he was in a project with Star Wars, if I remember correctly. But either way, it's just bad. It's just bad all around. And rest in peace to a phenomenal star, genuinely great person. And for now, we gotta wait longer for this heavyweight spectacle to finally take fruition. Hopefully it bodes true that it does happen. But hey, like we always say on the show, only time will tell. But with that being said, I'm Jean-Luc Welch. This has been a live reaction. First of hopefully, I don't know how many more of these will have to be. We got to break the news now, and I'll catch you all in the actual show when we post on the podcast and on YouTube. So leave a like on the video, comment your thoughts and opinions, subscribe to the channel of everything that we just talked about, share the show with everybody that you know, and I will catch you all in the next episode, or in the next actual show that we post. So peace and love. Oh boy, we're out of here. My goodness.